Yeah, now it's been recording. Good morning to everyone again. So we are going to start from the place where he has stopped in the overview, basic things. Actually, most of the things that we discussed in the first session must have been covered, or you have been exposed to those areas for sure, since you have learned accounting in advanced level. Nevertheless, the areas that we learn and discuss, even though we are familiar with and you have learned, you have some knowledge about this, our discussion is from a different perspective, mainly to inquire things, understand things, mainly pertaining to an entity, for the purpose of generating a meaningful quality information about an entity to take decisions. So throughout accounting subjects, no matter what the subject is, whether it is financial accounting, management accounting, or any other accounting related subjects, we are learning about either how best information is presented, how best we should understand them, how best you should interpret, how best we should use them. So we are dealing with information, how people and institutions are engaged with this particular information processing um, processes. Because in a way it's very broad if you just want to touch the other areas. And again, information can be, you know, that you live with and you live in a technology driven or techno society. Sometimes actually in the technological society, we have become slaves and feudals. So there is a concept called techno feudalism. Knowingly or unknowingly, we have become feudals of technology. That's true. So in a technology driven society, there is a there are lots of opportunities for us to know about new things, new information, new knowledge. At the same time, meantime, there is a greater risk also um, to mislead, provide you misinformation, wrong information, and to spread lies. And likewise, there are two extremes. So you must be, that is why, and how the education, proper education is going to help you. Sri Lanka is a context to great extent. It is easy for us people to bring you to the other end, that is to mislead. Even with that context, this particular subject, accounting, is very important for everyone. Because you guys, once you are like having a kind of good education, shouldn't be taken for a ride by others. You must be careful enough to take good decisions. Let me share the screen. Feel free to ask questions in case if you come across any doubt or anything not clear. Is this the one that Diana said discussed last? This is number 23. Is this the one? Okay. Of course, you have some understanding about information and annual reports and financial statement as well. I hope that Diana sir must have already explained you the difference between general purpose financial statements and specific purpose financial statements. What information is disclosed there? Because we live in a plethora of information, we deal with plethora of information. Even if you take an annual report contains lots of information. Sometimes there is a big doubt whether interested parties or stakeholders read annual reports or not, whether it has become a symbol of doing something else, either to mislead you or just to comply with the regulatory authorities or any other things. Because preparation of an annual report for a company or a specified entity, business entity, is a must because of the Companies Act on and other requirements. So in the annual report, you are supposed to provide certain mandatory information which are required to be disclosed, but not limited. Like you are given, that is the entity. Always we refer to an entity. Entity is free to disclose other information as well. So therefore, annual reports are being used for advocacy advertising as well, because they can pass messages to the users. And in addition to this additional stuff, there are general demands in the society as well about the conduct of corporations, that is the entity, mainly limited liability companies. To great extent, those discussions are not good areas, they're bad. And always there is a reality that the corporations try to maximize their profit. As a result, society and other stakeholders interact with the entity. As a result, entity also will try to show the stakeholders that no, we are not bad guys, we are good guys, and look at ourselves. As a result, general practices are there to disclose not only the financial information, not only the mandatory information, and other non-mandatory and voluntary information is there among them. So the society is discussing about the sustainability, ethical conduct, environmental interaction, social justice. So likewise, so on and so forth, you can think of. Right. Yes, there's a request. Yeah, please, if you have any doubt or anything which is not clear, please let me know. There is a request for me to explain something in Sinhala as well. It's all right, we can. So let me know. But I'll just tell you, actually, I try my level best to keep the speed of speaking. Generally, my speed of speaking is a little bit high. As a result, you may not grasp things. When it comes to the medium of instruction, it is English. It is English. It is not because of any other thing that the English is superior to other language. No, it's not. So it has become the language that we are forced to use for business purposes and other, mainly when it comes to mainly business purposes and international relations and all those things. So we also have taken a decision to conduct lectures in English, learn in English. It is hard since we have our mother tongues, either Sinhala or Tamil. I'm so sorry. First of all, I must express my apology to those who speak Tamil. I'm not in a position to explain things in Tamil. Sometimes it may be some student might think that if I explain something in Sinhala, those who speak in Tamil may not understand. But by and large, to some extent, you would grasp it. Anyway, everything would be discussed and explaining in English. Right. දැන් මම මේක පොඩක් සිංහලෙන් පැහැදිලි කරොත් මම පටන් ගන්න යන්නෙම දයානන්ද සර් නවත්තපු තැන ඉඳලා මේ තොරතුරු හෙළිදරව් කිරීම කියන එක. දැන් ඔබ දයානන්ද සර් කතා කරන්න ඇති කම්පැනියක් ඇත්තටම කියලා කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියන එක. ඒක දෙපැත්ත කැපෙන ආයුධයක් වගේ එකක් තමයි. හොඳ පැත්තටත් භාවිත වෙන්න පුළුවන්, නරක පැත්තට භාවිත වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. කෙසේ වෙතත් කම්පැනියක් විසින් ඇනුවල් රිපෝට් එකේ ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න ඕන තොරතුරු අතර අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න ඕන තොරතුරුත් තියෙනවා. අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඉදිරිපත් කරන්න ඕනේ නැති තොරතුරුත් තියෙනවා. ස්වේච්ඡාවෙන් කරන්න ඕන. එතකොට ස්වේච්ඡාවෙන් කරන්න ඕන තොරතුරු තියෙනවා නම් ඒකට කැමැති විදිහට ඒගොල්ලන්ට කරගන්න පුළුවන්. නමුත් ඒ ස්වේච්ඡාවෙන් තොරතුරු ඉදිරිපත් කිරීමත් කම්පැනි මේ භාවිත කරන්නේ තමුන්ගේ පොඩි ඇඩ්වර්ටයිසින් කැම්පේන් එකක් විදිහට. කොහොම නමුත් ඒ ස්වේච්ඡාවෙන් ඉදිරිපත් කරන තොරතුරු අතරත් යම් එකඟතාවයක් එනවා. දැන් පොදුවේ අපි දන්නනේ සමාජයේ යම් ඉල්ලුමක් ඇති වෙනකොට ඩිමාන්ඩ් එකක් ක්‍රියේට් වෙනකොට ඒකට අනුව තමයි හැදෙන්නේ. අපි දන්නවා සමාගමක් තමුන්ගේ ව්‍යාපාර කටයුතු කරගෙන යනකොට ලාභය ප්‍රමුඛ කරලා කරන්න ඕනයි කියලා පොඩි අරමුණක් දාලා තියෙනවා. ඒක ඇත්තටම බොරු සහ මේ සමාජ විරෝධී අරමුණක් කියලා මගේ නම් අදහස්. ලාභ කියන්නේ මේ උපරිම කරන්න ඕනයි කියන්නේ ලාභ ලැබීම කියන එක නෙමෙයි. ඒ උපරිම කරන්න බෑ. නමුත් එන්නේ එකට මුවා වෙලා සමාගම් වැඩ කටයුතු කරගෙන යනකොට ප්‍රශ්න හදනවානේ. සේවකයන් පිළිබඳ ප්‍රශ්න, සමාජ පිළිබඳ ප්‍රශ්න, පරිසරය පිළිබඳ ප්‍රශ්න. මොකද සමාජයකට ලාභ උපරිම කරන්න ඕන නම් පිරිවැය අඩු කරන්න එපා. Isn't that like if an entity wants to maximize profits, they should reduce cost. So when you produce goods and services, then you can employ minors. බාල වයස්කාරයන්ව සේවය යොදව ගන්න පුළුවන්. අඩුපඩියක් දීලා පොඩක් කන්න ටිකක් දීලා නේ. ඔක වහල් සේවයට හරි අරගත්තොත් ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ නේ. මොකද වහල් සේවයත් ඉස්සර තිබුණේ එහෙමයි. මිනිසුන් වික්කා දන් වලේ බැඳා තමුන්ගේ ගෙදර දොරේ වැඩ කරගත්තා, අනිත් අවශ්‍යතා ටික ඉෂ්ට කරගත්තා, සත්තු වගේ පාවිච්චි කරා. එතකොට අර ලොජික් එකට අනුව හරිනේ. Because you want to maximize your profits, then pay low salaries, don't worry about their rights and other things because you want to maximize. If you just give them more, then profit cannot be maximized. නමුත් ඒක එහෙමම කරන්න බැරි වෙනවා. ඒකට ඉඩ දුන්නාට සමාජයෙන් පීඩනය එනවා. අන්නේ පීඩනයන්ගේ ප්‍රතිඵලයක් විදිහට තමයි ඔය අනිත් ඩිස්කෝසස් එන්නේ. සස්ටේනබිලිටි කතා කරන්නේ, පරිසරය ගැන කතා කරන්නේ, සේවකයෝ ගැන කතා කරන්නේ, විවිධ aspects. So as a result, companies are forced to think of other areas as well. They are also disclosing the annual reports. ඒතර මම කලින් සඳහන් කළේ මේ තොරතුරු තියෙනවා. හැබැයි මේ තොරතුරු ඉදිරිපත් කරපුවාම අපි 100%ක් දන්නේ නැහැ ඒගොල්ලෝ බොහොම ජෙනුයින්ලි මේක ඉදිරිපත් කරනවද මේවා මැනිපියුලේෂන් කරනවද. දැන් ඊයේ one thing I would like to mention, apart from these lectures and learnings, you better keep in touch with what's happening in the society, especially in the financial world. How information is misled even by political characters as well. Pertaining to the management, there was an announcement to the Colombo Stock Exchange yesterday about one company, that is ACL Cables. ACL cables කියන කම්පැනි. ඒක ඊයේ ඒකේ share price එක එකපාර වැඩි වෙන්න ගත්ත රුපියල් 10කින් විතර වගේ. ලාභ ලබනවා කියලා. මුත් ඊයේ හවසම ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ අර financial reports වල ඊට කලින් ඉදිරිපත් කරපු එකේ වැරද්දක් තිබුණයි කියලා ඒක නිවැරදි කළා. එතකොට අපි ඇත්තටම දන්නේ නැහැ අර වැරද්ද හිතාමතා කරලා දැන් නිවැරදි කරාද? එහෙමත් නැත්නම් ඇත්තටම වැරද්දක් වෙලා නිවැරදි කරාද කියලා. ඒ වගේ ප්‍රශ්න තියෙන නිසා අපි ඒක ටච් එකේ හිටියොත් තමයි වගේ දේවල් දැනගන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. Okay, now I'll come back to the disclosures. There are two types. Mandatory. So this is how they are disclosed. I think how about have you at least not there is no point of reading in I mean entire annual report. Have you seen a real annual report in soft form? Have you seen an annual report? Yes or no? Okay, I will okay. We can take a poll if you want. Okay. 1 minute. Okay, so later. Yeah, many have seen it. No worries. I hope that everyone must have seen an annual report. Sure. Do you see the screen now? I'm not seeing the screen.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, no, I don't see. Okay, because of the presentation slide. Okay, 1 minute. Right. So many different sections are there. You can choose and select. Mainly when it comes to the financial statements, you need to pay attention on this section. You see, in this annual report, that is 8 constraints section, financial statement, where financial calendar, index to the financial statement, statement of directors' responsibility, independent auditors report, financial statements, where those 6 components are disclosed, including notes. You see, other areas, financial calendar, like that is just calendar index, just see, independent auditors report is also a must and a part and partial of financial statement. Why? Independent opinion, just not their own opinion. External auditors look at financial statements and make an opinion whether those financial statements show a true and fair view. If it's not true and fair, you can't trust. But there are problems again. Some audit reports, independent opinion, even if they say that, yes, the statement show true and fair view, may not be true. There are lots of cases, not only in Sri Lanka, in other countries. If you take this ETI Trust, Swarnamal Finance, Touchwood Investment, and if you look at the annual reports, just before that particular incident, auditors have just raised certain concern. But if you look at the numbers are very good. So show a very rosy picture. So there are issues. So likewise, I would like to refer to the recent incident. Nowadays, there is a discussion about this organic fertilizer and the chemical fertilizer. Government has taken a decision not to import chemical fertilizer. Later on, the decision was changed, and now they can import some limited chemical fertilizer. As a result, finally, this argument, whether it is organic or chemical, likewise, finally, farmers were facing lots of problems of not having required fertilizer for them. Now, government has decided to import something called nano fertilizer. But the problem was nano fertilizer and some organic fertilizer. One particular ship, which is controversial, which is coming from China, and sample was tested by entities like they are capable by one of Sri Lankan entity, the institution tested and found that some microbacterial elements are there in the sample. Then lots of arguments are there. No, that report was wrong. That is that. So the politicians also intervene, and some sabotage must have been done. Just do the second sample. They did the second sample. That also shows that yes, it is. Third sample, yes. Then the court order was also taken not to allow that particular ship to anchor in the Colombo harbor. But unfortunately, that company, together with the support of the Chinese government, is pressurizing. No. Our contents, our fertilizer cannot have these harmful bacterial elements. So this is something wrong with your report. So therefore, we don't want to have reports from you guys. We better appoint someone else, independent, so-called, maybe from another country. So what is most likely to happen? If there is no accountability, the so-called independent party can be easily influenced and paid huge amount of money and get a certification. Oh, yeah, we did it. We took so many samples from here and there. It's very good, like clear, there are no bacteria, something. This thing can happen. We'll see what will happen in a couple of days' time. So this is the key area where you should look at financial statements as far as your course is concerned, but you are free to look at the other areas, management discussion, analysis, and lots of things. Right. Now, financial reporting has gone up to a level called integrated reporting. Why? Even when you look at this annual report, so many different sections, some are mandatory, some are voluntarily, some are financial, some are non-financial, some are some other things decided by the company. Likewise, it goes in that way, this way, and bulky. Sometimes readers may not be able to understand and connect the relationships of this information. Therefore, there is a trend nowadays. Better not to just report like this. Financial reporting should focus on something called integrated approach. Therefore, when you report, when you engage in financial reporting, think of an integrated approach. Therefore, your integrated model should be first explained how the resources of the entity have been utilized in investment and how they are managed, how they are put into operations, what is the connection of this particular entity with the society, environment, other areas, likewise, sustainability and code of conduct, that is ethics, everything together, and now what we call integrated reporting is there. You can learn. Then the evolution of corporate reporting has taken place like this. Initially, in 1960s, we were worried about only financial statements just to show what we have done. Then the readers look at, okay, whether this company has earned a profit or not, whether this company has adequate amount of assets to run the business. Later on, by 1980s, some issues were there. Together with the development in the political sciences and economy as well, sometimes what we call neoliberalism, the capitalism has just has been really evolving towards somewhere to earn more profits, simply disregarding other things. As a result, they liberalized almost everything. In that liberalized process, especially which started in 1970s, created issues. Problems were there. Because of that reason, we pressurized the entity to disclose. It is not adequate to show the financial results. Just tell us what managers are telling about this. What are their accountabilities, roles? Governance means, and how best the entity's resources have been governed, managed, and directed likewise. And environmental reporting. If they just report us, tell us when you manufacture something, whether you have destroyed the environment, whether you have conserved the environment, whether the entity have done something bad to the environment. So that is the reason why nowadays entities are forced, in a way, naturally forced to protect the environment. So likewise, you saw additional. Then by 2000, that environmental reporting expanded to sustainability. Sometimes you may protect the environment in isolation on haphazard basis, some part, that part. So wherever you want, you can encroach and interact with the environment. So in terms of sustainability, sustainability means the ability to continue for future generations without compromising their resources, assets, or their rights to consume resources. In other words, we are not obliged, we are not really allowed to use resources available for future generations. Resources in the society and environment are for the mankind, for the human. Then the sustainability approach is there, reporting came. Now, projected one is put everything together in integrated reporting. Therefore, in the integrated reporting, you may see everything: financial information, sustainability, management commentary, governance, non-financial, ethics, everything is together. This is how it is in a proper way, responsible way, accountable manner, ethical manner. So then only you can manage your risk. Otherwise, entities would do whatever they want. So that area. Then you need to report online really. Like, so there is a discussion around the world how best reporting could be improved. Maybe in the future, information about organization, about the society, maybe on the internet, or do not know, it depends on the political systems. If you are really genuine enough, if you want to maintain the integrity, transparency, of course, you would move towards that kind of online real-time reporting system. Everything is transparent. And the audit and assurance, so the third parties expertise, such as finance expertise, auditors, or maybe others roles also will also be important in this particular evolution process. some of the accounting jobs, but don't worry about all those things. So these are sometimes mere name tags. So nevertheless, if you learn accounting in that way, if you gain that exposure, not simply dealing with numbers, computation, and telling that, the real exposure of accounting will help you to have jobs like this. And already, this is the lecture panel. I'm sorry, not the lecture panel. Some of your alumni, they hold relatively, I don't like to hold big positions because that is also a socially marketed situation. No matter what job that you do in the future, even if you choose to be a social activist, that is also big to me. If you can live as a great human, then that would be the biggest for me and not the other posts. So nevertheless, the society, like what is appeared in the society, sometimes when you hold responsibility, because from that perspective, I would like to talk. So it is not because just to showcase that, okay, this is the personal success if you can hold big post and earn your money. No, it is not the great success for the human. But while you are holding these positions, yes, you can be a great human as long as you are accountable. You are highly conscious enough these things. So lots of people are there who hold lots of position at the corporate world and the public. Yeah, so middle that the Professor Samanth is one of the product of our department. I think she is from the first batch. So likewise, so there are many, and many work in the private sector. So we have only just to show you some of these guys. You must be knowing, and you may have some connection. Some only very few, not that much, are working in the public sector as well. You may see them, and right. So that's all. But it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that these are the only way or the paths of being success. So you question yourself, right? Otherwise, because I don't want to put you onto the wrong direction or the wrong track. Success of human is not the personal success that is being measured in terms of money, wealth, or anything. Actually, if you carefully study the nature of human nature has become, or the human have become successful just because of the collective efforts. If you are interested in reading books, I would recommend you to read a good book that's called, type here, Brief History of Homo sapiens. Has anyone of you read this book or heard about this? As I'm not sure the second one. So this is the name of the author. I don't know whether I have just spelled correctly. Yuval Noah Harari. Oh, Noah Yuval Harari. Harari. Surname is Harari. That's correct. Huh? Have you heard about this book? Yes or no? Hello, guys. I don't hear.
No, sir.
Okay. So,
No, sir.
okay. Thank you. Don't worry. If you are interested in reading, I think this book is available online. In case if it's not available, just contact me. I can give you the soft copy. Read it. it's really worth piece of reading rather than reading so many other thousand books. It very clearly explains with evidence in a vivid manner how humans were evolving, especially during the 70 to the 80,000 years, where we claim that we are evolving from mammals, and different identities are there among them. Now the history has found some evidence we are connected to um, already. I just typed the name of the book. Name of the book is there in the chat box, you can check. Brief history of Homo sapiens. Read, I recommend, because you guys must read. And we evolved from someone called sapien, Homo sapien, Homo erectus and Neanderthal. Likewise, the evolution identified different types. The last one is the Homo sapiens. So we are from Homo sapiens. If you read this book, you would really wonder how cruel we were, how violent we were in the past. We are in that particular process. So many bad things are there hidden in the society and may be reflected in ourselves as well. As of now, even maybe just bringing from generation to generation through genes. The problem is whenever we are to accumulate amass wealth, then the problems conflicts there. In that particular book, it very clearly explains how and why humans have been successful among other animals, over the other animals. Lots of reasons are there. One key important reason is we are good at cooperating with others and we are flexible. We have been successful not because of we were living as single individuals, but because of we were living as collective societies. So that is a key. Don't forget about it. All right. With that, I conclude this first part. Then we will move on to the second part. Then I'll stop this recording since that is a continuation from